Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again, and I'm headed to the gun store, my own little personal Disneyland. I called ahead. They said they have some Glock mags, and they do have 9mm home defense ammunition. I'm excited. That stuff's hard to come by, but I'm on my way to make some more purchases, and I am still waiting. You know, this is the great state of California. We're home of the fucking backlog, but I'm still waiting to pick up my Mossberg 500 Tactical Persuader, all paid for. I'm just waiting for her to come home. So, the fun just won't stop, man. It just won't. It's like standing under a waterfall. It just keeps pouring and pouring and pouring all over you. Now, every black person, or I guess in this day and age, every POC, every person of color, you can rest easy. Call the family in the room, sit the kids down, tell them it's over. Our bad days are over. Everything is going to be fine. You know why? Because Major League Soccer supports BLM. Now I'm going to give you a second before I ask the question that we're all wondering. Everybody ready? Who the fuck cares? Soccer? I don't give a shit about soccer. Football if you want to. Nobody in America gives a shit about soccer. That's a foreign thing. And they had these fools out on the soccer field, and there's all the black soccer players out on these stupid ass t-shirts with these masks over their face and their fists in the air. Stop with that bullshit. Stop with putting your fist in the air like this is the Summer Olympics of 1968 and you're standing on a fucking podium. Stop it. There's no more need for the black fist in the air. Now, there is somewhere else that I would love for you to put that black fist, but it's not in the air. There's no air where I want you to stick that black fist. Stop that stupid, over-emotional, exaggerated bullshit. The reason that the black fist in the air already exists is because we already used it and there's no more use for it. There's no fucking oppression in this country. Now, I'm sure there's somebody climbing down a steep mountain face right now with a back full of fucking slabs of limestone who would disagree with you. There's no oppression in this country. The only oppression is self-inflicted. There are no more systems in place to keep you down. If there are, all you have to do is let the authorities know. See, back then, even if you let the authorities know, the authorities were in on it too. That's not the case anymore. Come in real close, dummies. I'm only going to say this once. You're not going to get rid of racist people. They're always going to be here. Now, we can get rid of racist systems because we fucking already have. There's proof we did it in America, but you are not going to get rid of racist people. So just because there are racist people does not make this a racist country. Do you understand that? Just because you put up some video of some questionable racism, because to be honest, 9 out of 10 of these stupid fucking videos I see of these clips of, oh, Karen does this or racist white man does that. Usually it's not racist. Usually the person filming is the one who started the bullshit. And you notice they never have any footage of before the bullshit started. Usually, 9 times out of 10, those videos are not racism. Just because you have a problem with somebody who's a different color than you does not make that racism. Just because a white person gets mad at a black person does not make that racism. Do you understand? This shit is retarded. So the MLS, the Major League Soccer, backs BLM. Well, thank you very much, Major League, who gives a fuck about soccer. You motherfuckers can't even get rid of people chanting monkey during your games, but you're gonna back Black Lives Matter. You're gonna show solidarity with America. Shut the fuck up. We're more ahead than you are. Let somebody start chanting some racist song or singing monkey at a major sporting event in America. See what happens. That's not commonplace here. That's not part of the game here. Maybe you should take a page out of our book. Major League. Who gives a shit about soccer? Now, I know in other countries it's a big deal, but here you play that shit when you're 4 and that's it. Then you pick up a real sport. Fucking soccer. And I don't give a shit anybody watching this overseas and you don't like what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck about soccer. Now, on to more pressing issues. The 4 whores of the apocalypse. That's right. To Rashida, Tallulah, whatever. I call it KRS-One. Then you got Ilhan, the Somali double agent. Omar. I haven't come up with anything for Ayanna Pressley from Massachusetts. From Massachusetts. Maybe she should park her car in the harbor yard. And then, of course, our favorite, Loco Cortez, you motherfucks. Her womb is so polluted. She got my fucking baby, man. Love saying that shit. But I don't love what these 4 dummies are trying to do. Now, you know, of course, one of the popular things to say is defund the police. What does that mean? Does that mean take some of their money like New York City's dumbass did with Mayor de Blasio? When more than 60% of your police force is black or colored? You fucking dummy! How can your police department run rampant with racists when more than half of them are colored? We'll get back to that. So, these dummies want to defund the police. What does that mean? Defund them completely? Like, get rid of them? Like, no more cops at all? Or just take some of their money away? What else they want to do is abolish ICE, of course, that dumb shit. Just kick the door down at the borders and let them all in. That's not going to happen. They want to abolish prisons. Look, I can't remember which album it's on, but Richard Pryor has a bit where he talks about was that Stir Crazy, the movie he did with Gene Wilder when they were in prison. I might not have that right, but anyway, he did a movie with him and Gene Wilder where they were in prison. And it was Arizona State Prison that they filmed it at. So in between scenes and stuff, he actually talked to some of the actual prisoners there. And he said in one of his comedy specials, he said, "Thank God we have prisons, because some of these motherfuckers need to be locked up. Thank God we have prisons. We have prisons for a reason." Now, should they be more strict? Should there be more punishment? Less of this fucking rehabilitation? I think so. I think prison should be for punishment. I think it should have rehabilitation if you want. If you want to seek out rehabilitation, you want to take classes, and you're going to get out, fine. But if you're a lifer, don't waste my fucking money. You're never going to use that degree. You're never going to get a job in a body shop or whatever you're doing. So no, that's a waste of money. But I think prison should be about punishment so you don't want to come back. If you're putting on weight in prison and you're watching TV and eating snacks and shit all day, that's not going to want to make you not want to come back. So I think prison should be more about punishment, but we need them. But they want to get rid of them, kick the doors open, let everybody out. And they want people who are victims of police violence to get reparations. How do we determine what level of violence deserves reparations? What is the definition of police violence? And does that apply to people who brought the police violence on themselves. Like if you're wrestling with a cop, reaches for his gun, and he tases your ass, or he hits you across your forehead with his nightstick, do you deserve reparations? Now, if the cops pull you out of the car and start whooping your ass for no reason, yeah, you deserve some compensation. But how often does that happen? It's very rare. These assholes in the mainstream mediocres will have you think that this shit happens on the hour. Being black is a punishable offense. You should be able to be pulled over, removed from your car, and beaten simply because you're black. And as we all know, that's a steaming pile of organic bullshit. Reparations. Stop with that shit. This shit is ridiculous. The fact that 4 members of Congress, 4 elected members of Congress can get up there and say this shit with a straight face. Defund police, abolish ICE, reparations for victims of police violence. Shut the fuck up. That's already in place. That's called the justice system. That police officer will go to jail, and then you can sue the police department and get your money or your reparations. That shit already takes place. But they don't want it on that. They want it to be their wording, their way. Then they can sneak all this other stupid shit in there before it's passed. 4 elected officials are seriously saying we should abolish ICE? What? Now, the double agent Ilhan Omar, you're an immigrant. You should be up there defending ICE, defending our borders, so we maintain the quality of our country that lured your dumbass in the first place. Don't you understand that? By getting rid of ICE, you are going to open our borders. You are going to bring down the quality of our country. Remember this country? The one that lured you all the way from Somalia? Remember those old cartoons where somebody would like put a fresh baked pie in the windowsill, and the scent of the pie would go out, and it would form a finger, and it would go like this, and then the cartoon character would float through the air led by the scent of the pie. That's what we do. We put that red, white, and blue American pie on the windowsill, and it lures people to our country. But you want to open the fucking borders, so it makes our country just like the shithole, yes, I said it, the shithole that you came from. Now, either you're lying to me or you're stupid. Which one is it? Defund police. All right. I read a story the other day about, a few hundred LAPD officers called in sick. Uh-oh. Hey, ask those people who didn't get their fucking calls answered how they feel about defunding the police. Why don't you ask that lady who's screaming into her phone, "He's stabbing me"? Tell her you want to defund the police. Or like San Francisco, you want to send out some fucking junior police force, what do they call them? Around here, they call them the Explorers. The little junior police force, you'll see them hanging out with security and shit at the festivals around here. All they got on is a whistle and a flashlight. You're going to start sending these people out to domestic violence calls? Till when? Till some crazy ass husband grabs his gun and shoots one of these little fuckers? That's how you want it to be? You want more community outreach? Well, make the community behave itself and you can get more outreach. But right now, people don't know how to fucking act, so the police gotta show up. Defund the police. Get the fucking... Hey, you know what? You guys can be a petri dish for this. You can be the little guinea pigs. Why don't we defund your private police that patrol your gated communities? Let's defund them first. Let the word get out that there's less security where you live. let the criminals start creeping into your fucking neighborhood, and then you could tell us how it works. I think we should do that. You're our employees, so you have to do what we say, right? Your boss at work, when he tells you to do something, as long as it's respectful and lawful, you gotta do it, or you get fired, right? So let's do that. Let's defund your police force, your private police. Let's defund them first, and if it works for you, then we'll try it. But it probably won't. Word's gonna get out. They don't have as much security. Criminals are gonna come in, break your shit, steal your shit, probably assault, rape, and murder some of you, because that's what criminals do. And then you can see that that shit doesn't work, it's crazy, and you need to stop fucking talking about it. Just like racism, stop fucking talking about it, and it'll go away. You're not going to get rid of racist people. They're going to be everywhere, in every job, in every facet of life. They're there. Accept it. But we do not have racist systems. We got rid of that. Civil Rights Act, remember? Remember those black and white pictures of people hanging from trees and shit? The church bombing? Freedom Riders? Remember, we did that. We already did that shit. So we don't live in that kind of world anymore. And it's a fucking insult to the people who did. The fuck, man. Anyway, let's end this on a bit of a light note. So Kanye West is running for president. And I was reading something this morning that was saying how he no longer supports Trump and he thinks it's just a big mess. And he's putting down his MAGA hat. I mean, that's fine. That makes sense. You're going to be running against the man, if you make it, for president. So it makes sense that you wouldn't support him anymore. That's not earth-shaking. It's not groundbreaking. But Kanye West ain't going to fucking win. Maybe if this was 2016 and we haven't seen the improvements that Trump has made, maybe you would have had a chance. But you ain't going to fucking win. But one thing I do agree with that Kanye said was, to believe that black people have to vote for Democrats simply because they are black, that is racism and white supremacy. That I do agree with. The Democrats haven't done shit for anybody, but especially black folks. I agree with that. I tend to agree with things that I can see plainly in front of my fucking ocular stems. So I agree with them as far as that. But you ain't gonna fucking win, Kanye. But go ahead, man. You got the money? Hey, go for it, man. You spend it however you want. And I can't really, I'm interested to see if he gets to the point where he can, have a debate with Trump, or where he gets out there, starts hitting the campaign trail. I'm interested to see what he's going to do and what he's going to say. And he's depending on that. He knows who the fuck he is. He knows how eccentric he can be. So he knows people are going to be waiting to see what the fuck he has to say or what he's going to do. I know I am. But if you think you're going to beat Trump, nah, that shit ain't going to happen, man. And another thing that Kanye said that we can all agree with, he said Joe Biden is not special. He said it takes a special person to lead. And he said Joe Biden is not special. I mean, he's special, but he's not special. Oh, man, somebody let Biden out there so he could talk and fuck his campaign up. How are you your own worst enemy in your own campaign? All Bidenist pervertist has to do is open his mouth and it is over. And when you get on that stage with Donald Trump, man, he's about to get in that ass like a bike with no seat. Oh, fuck. Man, hurry up and speed this shit up so we can get to these damn debates. Could you imagine Trump, Kanye, and Bidenist pervertists on one stage? Man, I better call up Orville Redenbacher. We're going to need a whole lot of that fucking Popcorn. Oh my goodness, man. Could you imagine? I mean, it's a real possibility. Because 4 years ago, when Trump was running, even people who ended up voting for him, in the beginning, you were like, what? Trump? No way. And not necessarily in a bad way, but it just seemed far-fetched. It seemed impossible. So if there's anything I learned from that election, is that anything can happen. Could you imagine, though, President Biden is pervertist? He would put out an executive order that all 10-year-olds must have their heads sniffed by him. Like, for real, though, could you really imagine Joe Biden as our president? That mush-mouth, butterscotch candy eating, head sniffing, as long as you're under the age of 10 motherfucker as our president. That would be a sad day on earth for everybody, not just us, for the whole fucking world. That shit would be a nightmare. So we can't let that happen. We cannot let Joe Biden, well, let's be honest, he would be merely a figurehead. I guarantee you, if that fucker were to become president, his female vice president, whoever that's going to be, Kamala the Ugandan nightmare, or whoever the fuck, whichever one of these empty skirts would be chosen as his VP, Biden, they'll do the same thing that Trump's probably going to do during his campaign when it starts getting down to it. They're going to show a bunch of clips of Joe Biden, you dog face, pony soldier, poor kids are just as smart as black kids, and they rub the blonde hair on my leg, all that stupid shit he's been saying. They're going to show that and be like, look, he's not fit. They're going to have some fake ass doctor get up there and say, well, my analysis is blah blah blah, President Biden, he's not fit. They're going to get his ass out of there, and whoever is vice president is going to step up, and they're going to fuck this world up, starting with our country. You think this PC liberal bullshit is out of control now? You think cancel culture is out of control now? You think our schools are indoctrination centers now? Just wait until that crazy piece of shit who is his vice president takes control. Then it's going to get crazy. But it doesn't have to. We have the power. We have the power to stop it. So if we don't, it's our fault. I don't want to live in a country under President Biden. Fuck that. But people, I've almost reached my destination, the gun store. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit liberal cries. Get your Jericho Green notification tone. Link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.